This hat is giving me everything. If you walk away from me, now I'll just love you from behind, from behind, from behind. Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I am Darla and you are tuned into The 30 Journey. First video of 2019. If this is your first time, welcome. If it is not, welcome back. These are 5 amazing hacks that have changed my life. Oh my goodness, especially the first one, have changed my life tremendously. So if you are interested to find out what these 5 things are, guys, please keep on watching. One of the things I really struggled with was waking up early and becoming a morning person. I was never a morning person. I always slept in late. That was just me. Like, I was never the person that was waking up, come on, let's go, let's get our day started. Sleeping in late was okay when you're in high school and maybe early 20s, but there comes a time where it's like you got to get up early and get your day started. I find that the most successful people wake up early and get their day started early. And I was just like, you know what, I already know where I'm headed, where I'm going, and I know that this is going to be something that I need to incorporate into my life. So my first tip to you guys is the 5-second rule and the 5-minute rule. The 5-second rule is one of the things that helped me when it came to waking up early every single morning. And I'm gonna tell you what that is. What happens is your mind has about 5 seconds to do whatever it is that you want it to do within that time period before it decides to change. And you only have that 5-second window before you want to change your mind and decide, to do something else. I made the decision in my mind, and that's something that you guys really have to do. You have to make the decision that you want to do this, because otherwise you will not stick with it. So one of the things that I had to do was make the decision to say, you know what, I want to wake up early every single day. I want to get my day started. I want to do this. I want to make sure that I become that morning person. So one of the things that I did was one Sunday night, I watched one of my favorite ministers, media ministers, which is Dale Bronner, and he is amazing, guys. If you have not checked out any of Dale Bronner's sermons, I recommend you do. So I ended up watching one of his sermons the Sunday when I made that decision. That particular night, that sermon came on, and he just so happened to be talking about, in this sermon, about a 5-second rule and everything that I just explained to you guys a little bit. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I just know I had it in my mind that I was gonna wake up and I was gonna set my alarm. I was gonna set like 3 alarms to make sure I woke up on the time I wanted to wake up. And I wanted to wake up at 5:30 a.m. every morning. So I made the decision that I was going to do that. What happens is, within that 5 seconds after your alarm goes off, let's say you set your alarm for 5:30 a.m. When that alarm goes off, you only have 5 seconds to get out of bed, and you can count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to jump out of bed. You have to get out of bed. You cannot continue to sleep. You cannot continue to hit snooze. You have to get up after that 5 seconds is up. And what you do is you program yourself to do this every single day, guys. This is the key to how I ended up waking up early every single morning at 5:30 a.m. And now it's 5 a.m. I'm actually starting a new 66-day challenge, and I'll give you the reason why I do 66-day challenges. If you've been following me on Instagram for a while, or if you do follow me on Instagram, you know that I always incorporate 66-day challenges, and I have to start a new one, and I'll kind of go in briefly on what I'm doing with that and why I choose 66 days. That is the key to waking up early every morning for me. Like I said, you have to be dedicated with this. You cannot say, you know what, I'm just gonna hit snooze a couple times, or no, you have to stick through to this. And the best thing about this as well for me is I allow my social media to hold me accountable. What I mean by that is I post and timestamp my mornings every single morning when I wake up, and I, kind of put that out there for people to see that this is something that I'm sticking with and I'm doing every day. As much as we play on social media and scroll all day, why don't you have it work for you? And that is a life-changing tip for me, regardless of who watches and who doesn't and who cares and who doesn't. Make sure you're consistent in what you're doing, because I promise you, somebody is watching, waiting for you to fail and waiting for you to do what it is that you are saying that you're going to do. But that should not be your main focus. Focus on the fact that you want to be consistent in what you do, because you want to make sure you put that anchor in your life to say, I did that before, I can do it again. It's not an issue. I really want to stress that with you guys, and make sure you use your social media to hold you accountable, because that honestly works. So the 5-minute rule is a little bit different. 5-minute rule for me is really good when it comes to getting small tasks done within a 5-minute period. If you know it'll take about 5 minutes or less to do it. It'll save you so much time from procrastinating and having so many things pile up at one time. I know it will only take this amount of time to do, so you might as well do it. If it takes 5 minutes or less, guys, get it out of the way and just do it, and do yourself a favor, because that's something that you will not have to worry about coming back to and adding to that to-do list that could have already got accomplished. It's something that's simple for me all the time: loading the dryer. I wash my clothes and I'm like, I'll just go ahead and load it tomorrow morning. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I pick my clothes from the dryer a lot. Like, I don't fold and hang up my clothes all the time like I should. I really don't. And I mean, this is just my truth. I'm just putting it out there, just saying that's just what's real. But I know that will help me out in the morning sometimes when it comes to not having to rush and, you know, hoping that my clothes are dry before I have to get to work, or forgetting to load the dryer before, you know, going to work or anything like that. Please keep that 5-minute rule in the back of your mind to help you as well, because it has honestly helped me so much. So the second tip that I want to give you guys is exercise. I know this is not really like a big huge tip, but I'll tell you why this is huge for you and for me. One of the things that I was not really consistent with doing is exercising, and then I started to become consistent with it, because one of the things that we always want to do at the beginning of the year is start gym memberships and all of those things, and start going in there running. They love to catch us around the beginning of the year, and then we never stay consistent with it, and the gym membership is just like by March it's a wrap, sometimes by February, sometimes by the 3rd week of January. So why not this year ditch the gym membership? And I'm gonna tell you why and why you should. Okay, so we always decide that we want to do these kind of things at the beginning of the year, but we always want to start off with so much momentum and gas. Why not take it slow? And I use this tactic in just about every aspect of my life, because I find myself beating myself up when I don't stay consistent with some of the things that I really want to stay consistent with. And then you end up just quitting. And that is not something that you want to do. So why not go in and go small? So this is what I mean. For me, when I started off with exercising and things like that, I did have a gym membership, but I found quickly that I was not always consistent with going. However, when I would wake up early in the mornings, I would always incorporate some type of exercise in the morning. Guys, it does not have to be anything strenuous. It could be something as simple as doing 50 jumping jacks in the morning, or just making sure that you're starting off with 5 minutes of exercise. And a lot of times what happens is, once you start and you're like, oh, that was nothing, I can do a little bit more, you'll want to eventually do a little bit more. You'll end up going harder because you're going to want more results, and better results. You're going to want to see a difference in your body, and it's getting your body warmed up to do certain things, so that way you're not just completely shocked, or your body's not completely shocked by what's happening. Take your time, start off slow, ditch the gym membership until you're consistent with doing exercises every single morning. And it doesn't have to be exercise. You can start off with just walking every morning. So if you're waking up early and you know what, you want to get 5 or 10 minutes in, go walk, go run, go do something that you know is going to get your body moving in the mornings, or any time of day, whatever you want to do for you. I just know in the mornings it's good for me because it just kind of gets me started. And that's what I want you guys to know. Just get started. The third tip that I'm going to give you guys is another simple tip, but I'm going to give you a spin on it. Read. So last year I had an 18 for 18. And the only reason why I was actually able to commit to the 18 books, even though it ended up being a different 18 books, I was able to do this because I invested in Audible. This is not sponsored. I just want to throw it out there. Audible books are like a godsend for me because at my desk at work, a lot of times I would listen to music. I would, listen to things that's not really enriching me and really giving me, something to really take with me every day. And what I started realizing what I could do was I could finish an entire book at my desk by listening to the book. And I have to concentrate a lot at work, but sometimes, I'll pause it or whatever the case may be. But either way, that is one day that I can be finished an entire book, guys. But what I want to stress to you is that you have so many resources at your advantage. There are a bunch of Audible books on YouTube that are free. Now, what I recommend, and this is just something that I do because if I enjoy the book, and it is sometimes it's books that I already have and I'll just listen to it on YouTube. I've already purchased the book because I don't like to just take advantage of the fact that it is free. I mean, that may be you, but I want to support if it's an author that I truly enjoy, or if it's a book that I really enjoy. I always want to make sure I support in some way, shape, or form because that is just me. So what I recommend you do is if you do, for whatever reason, decide to listen to a book and you really enjoyed it, why not go ahead and buy that book? That is an investment, in my opinion. That's something that always can be passed on to someone else, which I think is a beautiful thing about books, honestly. But if I'm not mistaken, Audible has a subscription, a 3-month free subscription, if I'm not mistaken, that they're promoting right now. And that is a great way to knock out the first 3 months of the year with a bunch of books. And you might have a 19 for 19. You might want to do 19 books this year and commit to that. And that is very easy to do with Audible books, especially if you have a desk job like me. You may not. And even if you don't, if you have a commute to work, why not turn that on rather than turning on talk radio or turning on, don't miss my videos, if you need to catch up on some things. I'm just saying. But if that is something that you really want to do, why not turn that on rather than turning on the radio or turning on something that's not really going to enrich you? Why don't you give that time to really doing something? Even on road trips, why not turn on a book and listen to a book and then hearing the author's voice? That is always something that I think is really cool, especially if it's someone that you really like and enjoy. So that is my tip to you guys to knock out your reading for this year. And I'm telling you, that always enriches you. So that in some way, shape, or form, you are pouring into yourself when you take the time to actually read or listen to a great book. Kind of staying on that same plane is tip number 4, which is morning motivation and morning devotional. So morning devotionals are really, really important to me because if you follow me on Instagram, you know that it's usually how I start my day. At work anyways. At home is usually, journaling or with my Bible, or also one thing that I want to tell you guys about is with the sermon in the mornings. And I get ready for work. One of the things I do, I listen to a sermon almost every morning. And this is something that I do for myself just to kind of start me off with something positive. Like, you want to make sure you're really getting ready for your day with something positive to lay on your heart. I just want to kind of lay on you guys that if you are trying to read your Bible more, in the morning, it's something about, waking up and starting your day with that. If that is something you want to incorporate into your morning, which I definitely recommend, I would say to start off with a devotional or, Bible reading and things like that. So also one thing I want to stretch is take it slow. Like, you don't have to read a whole book of the Bible in the morning. You might just want to read a chapter. And sometimes, a lot of times for me, I want to go beyond that. So I'll just keep reading. Just get started. Once again, like morning devotionals and things like that. I'm trying something different this go round this year. And with that, so yeah, please don't forget to follow me if you really want some morning inspiration. I always love sharing that, and I thank you guys so much for reaching out to me, those that do and say that I look forward to these in the morning. I promise I am back with those because this is a new 66-day challenge. Now we'll get into tip number 5. Tip number 5 that I'm giving to you guys is to challenge yourself. So why I choose 66 days. 66 days is the basic number now for how long it takes to develop or break a habit. It is not 21 days anymore. It is about 66 days on average now. And I could definitely believe that to be true, and I'll tell you why. So when I was doing a little bit of research on this, when I first started this, which was a little bit over a year ago now, one of the things that I realized was that the 21 days was not sticking. And I noticed this like a long time ago. I'm like, I'll start and do something, but it doesn't really stick. So I'm like, I really want to develop habits and things like that that are going to stick and that are long lasting. I'll put the link below for the article that I read on the 66 days, which I found to be very interesting because when you think about Lent, let's just even say Lent. If you're not Catholic, I'm not Catholic, but one of the things that I do is I always incorporate something to give up for Lent. A lot of times that 40 days or 40 plus days really does help me to get in a habit of whatever it is that I may be giving up. I remember like maybe 6-7 years ago, like I gave up sodas and I never touched a Coca-Cola ever again after that. I'm like, I cannot believe I even used to drink this. This is so nasty. However, root beer is a different story. I really don't drink sodas anymore. Every once in a while I have them. When I was on my trip recently, I did have Fresca. Oh my gosh. One of the things that I found when I did give up those things for that extended period of time, it really did help me out a lot when it came to sticking to it. So I knew there was something with this 66 days because it was like, I know if I am doing this for an extended period of time, and I think 2 months is a good window. I think it is such a good way to incorporate, great habits and to eliminate horrible ones. So read up on that for yourself. But like I said, there is something to this 66 days that I find to be really key for me. And it did help me as far as waking up early. And that was something I did for 66 days straight. And it worked for me. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I truly hope it blessed you. These are honestly all tips that have helped me in my life day to day and continue to help me in my life day to day. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, do not forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I want to let you guys know that I did reach my goal for 2018. If you were wondering, as far as subscribers, I honestly reached it in November. But of course, we want to continue to still grow, and this channel is growing. I'm so grateful for it. Little by little, we're growing, and I'm so happy. So guys, make sure to keep God first and stay winning spiritually. Peace. New year, new you. We gonna see.